Hey everybody, it's Theresa here and welcome back to my channel. In today's process video, I wanted to share with you day 3 in my October Daily 2022. I'm working with the Traci Reed Hocus Pocus collection. And so this was a foundation page that I created back in September. And this is the process for the foundation part. And so what I did was I took a digital stamp from the Hocus Pocus kit, and it was this cauldron. And when you lay out a digital stamp in Photoshop, it kind of gives you some options for resizing. And so I made it to fit the 8-inch height in the album, and then I cut that digital stamp as a silhouette in the silhouette with black cardstock. And at this stage, you can see I have it cut out 5 times. I did end up cutting it out 2 more times. So I'm using these mostly as the stack part, because what I want to do here is create the glitter sequin pocket. And so I'm using the cardstock layers to create the thickness for the glitter and the sequins to sit in between. And this whole cauldron is going to sit on a printed transparency, and you can see it's sitting on top of the Hocus Pocus poster print. There it is. And you can see how I printed one of the pattern papers around the digital stamp and then left the digital stamp sort of see-through on that transparency so that you would be able to see the sequins through it. And so that the cut pieces, or the cauldron itself, will sit on this transparency, and then the top layer will be another plain transparency, and that will sandwich the glitter and the sequins. And then I'll do another cauldron cut file on top of the top transparency and behind it, so that it looks finished out. And so I just need to adhere all of it. It's just a matter of building up the layers. I am using Tombow adhesive for this. You can use a glue pen. I felt like my thumb was going to get tired of pressing the glue pen for that long, and I did discover it's time for me to change out my blade, but I already had this cut, so I'm just going to trim it up a little bit where the edge didn't cut quite smooth. But my point was just to have a little fun insert here and do the poster behind it, and then when the day comes that we watch the movie, I'll do a layout on the left hand side that documents watching the movie itself. And so I am just trying to clean these up a little bit. It definitely I'm definitely pushing this blade and that's okay. So at this point, I've got it adhered to the clear transparency that's going on top, and I cut that transparency around it. I just hand cut it. And then now I'm going to fill it. And going back and looking at the process now, I would say don't cut those flame lines that are inside the flames of the pot. I would not cut those. I would just leave that all empty for the interior cut files. But nonetheless, it's fine. It fills in nicely, and It was funny to me when I went looking in my sequins. I only had those like 6 or 7 that are orange. I don't know how I didn't have more orange sequins, but in the end, I also used some purple glitter, some silver moons and stars, and they're just some things. Some of them came from Martha Stewart that I've had for years. Some of them are from Target, from the dollar spot recently. And then here you can see, I'm going to go ahead and seal that in and lay over the printed transparency. The transparency is printed with one of the pattern papers from the Hocus Pocus kit, and I thought it just gave it sort of that spooky kind of feel, and it also allows the glitter and the sequins to contrast with the transparency that it's on. And so here's where I went back and cut another cauldron to layer onto the top of the whole thing, again just to make it look finished out. And I think that was absolutely the right decision to do that. And I'm going to add another one to the back as well, it looks like. The glitter itself is sealed in at this point. So anything that I'm adding is just for the fit and finish, for the final detail here, just to help it look done. I will say the only problem that I had with it, it wasn't the digital stamp or anything like that. It was just that the little feet of the pot keep bending up for some reason, and I've gone back like several times and adhered it back down and pressed it back down. But it all works out so cute. I'm really happy with it, and I thought it was a lot of fun to do. It did take a bit of cutting and a bit of work here, as you can see, and I know it makes the video a little bit longer today, but I thought you might like to see the process from start to finish of my foundation pages and the finished page. And I'll be able to do that with some of the foundation pages that I did for October this year, but not all of them. But it is kind of a cool way to record the foundation page process. So here you can see it's all sealed up now, and it goes shaky shaky. And I'm just adding in just a couple more of those little details from the pot, and then I'm going to glue one last layer. I don't know how many layers. I've lost count. I think 7 layers at this point. And so it did make a nice little, just thick enough pocket here. And it doesn't add a lot of bulk. So this is a fun way. This is a very fun way to use a digital stamp. Especially this one was a perfect candidate because the whole outline forms a great sealed pocket. And that's what you want to look for if you're wanting to use a different digital stamp or whatever. You would want to look for one that is sealed all the way around, at least in one spot. So this worked out perfect for it. I love how it turned out. One of my favorite parts about it is how it picked up the purple in the poster print. And that is really cool to me. And I'm going to repeat that on the left-hand side when I go to add the photo as well. So I'm going to end this part of the process right here, and then we'll pick back up after watching the movie and we'll finish the page. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my 2022 October Daily album project. And so this is my process for day 3, So you just saw the process for the foundation page where I created the transparency with the cauldron glitter pocket using the digital stamp from Traci Reed Designs and the movie poster for Hocus Pocus. And so that's my story for day 3. And so what I wanted to do in this part of the process is just finish out the left-hand side of the layout with the photo and a couple of pattern papers that I printed from the Hocus Pocus collection. And I also have some of the die cuts from the kit. I didn't print them all, but there's a good selection there that incorporates some of the themes from the movie. And then I also took the witch's hat and clipped some of the pattern papers to the hats. And so I'm going to use those. And I was sort of inspired by, I've been seeing some of these Halloween decor images and videos on Photoshop about how to hang witches' hats on your porch or in your dining room or kitchen or whatever. And so that was sort of what I was inspired by for this layout. And so I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead here, and I've cut out the pattern papers that I'm using for this side of the layout. Again, focusing on the purples in the collection to carry that purple theme throughout the layout, and pulling that from the poster print. And so I've sort of split the layout here, not quite in half, and used the plaid at the bottom and a little black line, a little black border there in between the two. And then the photo is just a simple photo. I pulled in a bunch of our candles and put them in the tray on the ottoman in front of us. And it's been kind of fun. I think that a bunch of people did kind of a ritual kind of thing. Some people had all kinds of cool snacks and charcuterie trays. We didn't do that, but we did have candles. So I think that still counts. And so it was just a photo of the candles and then the television in the background. And so here I'm gonna cut this part down for the interest of time, but you can see how I'm trying to figure out how I want to group these hats around the photo. And so I realized that I needed a spot to put the journaling. So I went and cut some more of the die cuts from the kit. And I love that on-demand cutting. I can't say enough how much I love hybrid scrapbooking. It's so awesome to just be able to say, I need this, and go print it. And so I used the little circle here with the spider web and added my journaling. I definitely loved the Hocus Pocus 2 movie and give it 5 out of 5 stars. It was awesome. It was worth the wait. I can't believe it's 29 years that they waited, but everything was so well done. I'm not going to give away any spoilers because I want anyone else to enjoy it that plans to watch it and that loves this this movie and sequel now. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but we definitely had a great time watching it, and it was well done. And so it was a lot of fun to pull this layout together, and I love how these layouts, you guys, I can't stress this enough, these layouts make these memories permanent. Every time that we look at this layout or flip through this album, we'll be taken back to this memory of sitting down together with all the candles and the excitement of waiting for this movie the whole 29 years. And I just find it really hard to believe that I'm old enough to have waited 29 years for a movie to come back or to do a sequel. I felt the same way when they came back and did a sequel for My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and it was so many years as well, and it's like, how am I old enough for that? But here we are. Here we are. The time is going by faster and faster every day. So again, it just makes this process here so much more important to me. And I'm so happy to have a place to put these stories and to put these more detailed stories that the daily albums allow you to do. It's awesome. I'm so in love with it. So I think I finally, after fussing and messing with these hats about a million times, I decided that they definitely needed some other little embellishments as well. And I didn't mention this. The hats that I did, okay, I took, Traci had 3 digital hats in the Hocus Pocus kit. And I took those and clipped pattern papers from the kit directly on top of the hats that she had created. And then I added an interior stroke to create the white border around them and printed and cut them like that. And so they look a little bit different than Traci's hats, but you still get that idea of what's happening. And there's also a digital stamp of those hats. So if you wanted to maintain some of those details, I think you could do it with the digital stamps. I just used the digital stickers. So there's lots of ways to accomplish that. But at any rate, that's how the hat thing came to be. If you want me to do a tutorial about the hats, I'd be happy to. It's similar to the way that I did the badges for the outdoors layout I did a couple of months ago. And it just left my brain. But I did badges and clipped those pattern papers to that as well. So a couple of other details that I added to this page, the spider webs. Since I had brought in a spider web on the journaling circle, I thought that spider web would look really cute at the top. And then I also added those 2 little stars. And those little stars help tie the spider web in with the rest of the embellishments. And I just threw all the embellishments at that photo, and you know, in classic extra style there. So one last thing I'm going to do, and then I think this layout will be done, is to just add the number here, day 3. It's a transparency number. It's probably from Ali Edwards or Ellie's Studio. And then this layout is done. Thank you so much for watching. You can see this layout along with the other layouts that I've done this week on the blog today. It will be linked below along with products. And I thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your kind comments and your love and encouragement on this project. And I'll see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.